Welcome to the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. You can catch us Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on FS1. Here's what this podcast is all about. It's an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the day's show, and there is a lot to get into in today's podcast. LaVar Ball is back in studio to talk about his reaction to the NBA draft lottery and what it means for his son Lonzo, the Lakers, and he brings in the ZO2s. We welcome in Hall of Famer Chris Carter and Nick Wright to talk about their new show right here on FS1, First Things First. And of course, Nick is here, so we have to talk about LeBron. Skip explains his concern for Tom Brady's reported concussions and how it might affect his future. The Cavs head to the Garden tonight to take on the Celtics, and former Celtic Eddie House goes against his heart and tells us why this will be a sweep for LeBron and the Cavs. Skip, are your Spurs going to be able to bounce back?
Popovich said on Monday, I'm not a happy camper.
Why
Thanks
not?
to you, Greg. We'll talk about that in a minute. How are you?
He was at the game last night.
He was at the game.
The best player in the NBA wasn't at the game.
I was
What's going on,
forced
Skip?
to watch the game last night. The best player in the NBA was not at the game because Kawhi got hurt. It's too bad.
Don't do that, Skip.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
There we go.
Hey, Joe, how you doing today, Joy?
I'm good. How are
Like
you?
the black dress. It's nice. Hair down. I like that.
We're joined now by LaVar Ball. LaVar, welcome back to Undisputed.
Yeah. Wait, what did you bring with you?
We back. Look what I brought. The ZO2s. These are the special ones.
Ooh.
This is what everybody gets, the memorabilia pack. You get this light, you get the
Yeah.
prototype,
Okay.
but this is it. See, it's locked up. You just can't come in and get that.
It's
just like you go to the museum. You can't touch nothing. Just like that. We can all look. I don't even know where the key. I got to get clearance for it.
What?
You got to get clearance to open that
That's
one.
like going to the jewelry store. They got the good stuff behind the lock and key.
Yes. Up high where nobody goes.
Shannon, I drive a Z06.
Yes.
And those look faster than my Z06.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Z02s.
So go ahead. What's going through your mind last night?
What's going through my mind last night is, LaVar, you right again. Everybody on the outside looking in and say, how does he get that right?
Because you knew.
I speak it into existence.
He did.
And that's what I do.
You actually thought they were going to bring Magic Johnson way to New York and not let him get one of those first two ping pong balls?
You saw his dance move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
You saw his dance move. He had it already ready to go.
What? Skip?
So, as you told me a week ago, you said the Lakers are going to get that ball, that ping pong ball,
Yes.
and then get that ball,
That's
as in
what I'm
Lonzo
saying.
ball.
Yes.
And yet, they didn't get the first pick. They got the number 2, so they can take number 2, who's your son. But what if, this is what fascinates me, what if Boston starts to talk itself into Lonzo Ball? The reports are that you don't want Lonzo to work out, or maybe somebody in your camp has decided not to work out for Boston.
Right.
Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. So are you going to try to discourage
Strong-arm
Boston
them, not to
from
take your son?
taking Lonzo?
Discourage him, yes. I hope they don't take him. Markelle Fultz is the perfect pick for them. He's the best player. Take him.
Skip, can I ask him something? Skip?
Take him.
Hold on. Since when are you okay with being number 2?
As long as Lonzo number 2. He always been number 2. See how it lined up?
It does feel like fate. It
Hey,
does.
you see how it's lined up? Number 2, the deuce is wild.
Okay, but LaVar, Boston does have the right
Yes.
to come full. Like to me, I already told him to start the show. If I'm Boston, no disrespect to you, but if I'm Boston, I love your son so much, he's transcendent. He's better than Markelle Fultz for the reasons you have expressed. He's got this rare gift. He can make everybody better.
Right.
We know that. Okay, so I say, overall, long term, your son will be more valuable than Markelle Fultz, even though you say he's a fine player. He's a nice player. I get that. Although your son went up there back in February and UCLA just destroyed them up in Seattle. Remember that?
Right.
By 41. Anyway, back to this. So what if Boston says, we don't care if you won't let us work him out or talk to him, we're going to take him. Could it become an NFL-like situation that we discussed earlier? John Elway, once upon a time, said, no, I'm not going to the Baltimore Colts. I just won't play. I'll go play baseball for the Yankees, who had drafted him.
Yes.
Or Eli Manning. His family said, we don't want him playing San Diego. We don't even play him in the Big Apple, New York. So they sort of strong-arm forced a trade to the Giants. So is it possible that you could pull off the same thing if they start to make noise about we're going to take Lonzo?
Well, here's the thing. I don't have to make no noise. I would go with Zoe. Zoe just wants to be in the NBA. So it's not about me saying strong-arming folks and, he ain't playing there. I just think it's lined up for him to be a Laker, the fact that he's homegrown. But I will not go to Boston and do all this ramping and raving like, hey, man, I'm going overseas. I'm going to do that. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Lonzo wants to do the playing. He just want to be in the gym.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's not about my preference, like I said, is to the Lakers, and we get what we do.
Okay.
I just think it's going to be lined up
that.
good enough where everybody going to fall where it's supposed to be.
Okay. Do you think you're sending a bad message by saying that possibly that Lonzo is only going to work out for the Lakers?
No, I'm not sending a bad message at all. It's like, why would we work out for other teams? For what? We already destined. We're going to work out for the person we need to work out for. That's how we roll. Just like UCLA, when I picked it, I didn't go to 50 different schools to find out which one you want.
Right.
If you know what you want, just do what you're going to do. Go. You don't have to
want to
put
get
on no
down?
fly
Don't
show.
you want to get down? You know, fly first class, come in and see the.
I can do that on my own. We don't need that. We don't need no circus. We need to get where he's supposed to be and start winning.
And he's supposed to be right here.
And he's supposed to be right here. That's why I said you're going to land where you're supposed to be, son. This is all lined up for you. I got the vision already. I already see it. I wish I could replay it where you can see it on my head, but it'd be too easy.
Have you talked to Magic?
I haven't talked to anybody. But, hey, see how this universe works? The best point guard ever is attracted to the new best point guard ever.
Well, hey, you said it. I mean, I guess if you talk about something enough, eventually it's going to happen.
So, LaVar, have you had any indications from inside the Lakers that they are leaning toward taking Lonzo?
The indication I'll take is body language. If you say somebody's name, you start dancing, that's enough. Okay. I can show you. Holler at my wife. Say LaVar.
Okay.
Same thing. Same thing.
Hey, you know I bought a pair of those, don't you?
Yes, I saw it. Shannon coming outside. I like it. I like it.
You know,
made more sense than any people that's not even, forget the price, but like you said, getting behind people, that's just how they do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Why would I look down upon someone that's trying to build something? Yes, it's different. Most guys, like, you know what, they take the easy way and whatever to each his own. If you want to get behind a brand, you want a brand to market you, okay, fine. But you took a different approach. Mm-hmm. You says, okay, I want to build a shoe. I would like to have y'all backing, but if you don't want to let me help design the shoe, I mean, I'm giving up everything. So it's basically, you just want my son. Right. Well, I want my son to be in something that we have an input in designing.
Yes.
And we see so many different communities that will back their own.
Wow.
You think I'm going to turn my back on my own?
That's strong. That's strong. And like I said, like when the shoe first came out, man, and I was talking to some of my buddies too. I said, you know, Shannon could say when it first came out, he was like, that's too high for that. I ain't doing that. That's Michael Jordan. For him to change on live TV and say, yo, I'm going to buy this shoe, that's strong to me. And like I said, the benefit that you had behind it, the reasoning for it was kind of, I say, monumental, because it lets people know, like, man, you ain't just got to worry about the price. If you want to back somebody, it's on you.
So, LaVar, back to Magic Johnson. Do you have any former relationship with Magic? Have you known him over the years?
No, I have no.
So you've never even
Hey, here's the
spoken?
funny thing about it. Check this out. I talked to Magic when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I went to one of his camps. And that's the only time I ever talked to Magic.
And?
It was just cool. I just knew he's the best point guard ever, being so big and changing things where people was like, nah, you're not a point guard, you're too big to be one. And him to do what he do, playing with that game. That's why I tell people Zoe is Magic with a jump shot. I've been saying that for a long time. Not that he looks like Magic and all this. It's just he makes people want to play with him. You don't know any of the Lakers, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, Kurt Rambis, put them on some other team. You're not going to know any of those guys. But you put them with Magic now, they household names. One guy. It's just like Zoe at UCLA. How many people went in the draft just because of him? He'll pull you along. You just got to follow.
So Magic was quoted, I think, a week or so ago, saying, I don't have any issues with LaVar, or any input that he would try to have in our franchise. So he has no problem, he said, with going ahead and taking Lonzo the way some other executives have expressed concern. Well, maybe he'll be too involved. But I want you to restate what you told me last week when we did our Facebook Live. You had no input or involvement at UCLA with Steve Alford's program.
None.
Would you please make that clear?
Here's what the media does. They gonna make me seem like I'm just in the locker room telling that, hey, we're not running that. You better do this for my son. I'm not that guy like that. But then you look at what happened in the high school, and people say, oh, that happened over here, he's running things. If you want to say I'm running things, that's fine.
At Chino High School.
At Chino High School. And you want to bring that to UCLA and LA. I'm not that guy, but I'm going to speak my opinion. If you ask me a question, I'm going to speak my opinion. But I'm not going to be down on the floor every day. I enjoy watching my son play, and I will critique him backdoor. I'm not going to be in the game. You need to do this, you need to do that. No. I'll tell him whatever happens on the win or the loss, and I'll give him my input. And whether he takes it or not, that's on him. But he's been doing it for 19 years, and people say, oh, let Lonzo be his own. He's been his own man since he's been a baby. I don't hold him back from doing nothing. But I will guide him. It's just like people say, LaVar, you need to step back. I ain't gonna never step back. Even when I ride with him, I don't ride in the back. I ride side to side with him. We side to side. That's what people don't understand. He said, LaVar, I need to fall back. I ain't falling back nowhere. I've been on the side of them all this time. You think I'm gonna bag up now and get to the back for what? We come together.
You think your relationship with your son bothers people?
It bothers people because they don't understand the relationship that we have. And it's just another thing. You have some young people that's out here critiquing, oh, LaVar needs to let Lonzo go. How you young guys gonna say anything and you ain't got no kids?
Such as Kyrie.
So Kyrie, definitely. How you gonna tell me how my son should be?
Well,
you don't have a kid.
I don't think he's trying to tell you how you should raise your kid. And I said that from the very jump. I'm not going to tell a man or a parent how they should or shouldn't raise their kids. But I think he's saying that, look, he was the first pick in the draft. And we assume Lonzo's going to be one of the first two picks. He's saying at some point in time, it's like when he got 18 or 19, he's like, he got his first tattoo, got his ears pierced. His dad let him be a man. And I think they get the impression because, like, when you and Lonzo are together, you do the majority of the talking and he do the majority of the co-signing. So
why not? You asking me the question? He ain't just supposed to be popping in and jumping in. That boy understands I'm a parent, he's a son.
Right.
And like Kyrie, he's in a different situation.
Right.
So you can't put yourself in the same situation as Lonzo. I have a wife and 2 other sons. You're not in that situation.
Right.
His was different. So now he couldn't wait to break again away from his dad. Why? Because you guys was needy back then. My boy's not needy. He does whatever he wants, just like I do whatever I want.
Right.
So you can't put yourself in that situation and start saying, from my experience, maybe he didn't have a relationship that me and Zoe got.
Right.
And I don't think he did. He just had to make, first of all, your mom wasn't there. So something's got to change right there. It's not the same. Lonzo can come home and see his mom and dad all the time.
Right.
We've been together. Most people with this talent usually has a single parent.
Right.
Not 2 of them together that's like, hey, that's how we gonna do this. And be involved.
Right.
Because, Tiger can have his mom with her, but she ain't no golf player.
Right.
My wife played basketball. She understands it. Me and her like one.
Right.
So that's what makes it different than a lot of people in the situations where people are trying to get away from their family. From their, let's say, just a neighborhood that they're in. They say, man, I got to get out of this.
But you're in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where you want to go?
I'm in exactly where? Chino Hills. You know what I call it now?
What?
Big ball of Chino Thrills.
No mercy. LaVar Ball is still with us. The very subtle colors on the tie, by the way.
Oh, yes.
I like
that new
that.
style.
Yeah.
You planned it.
So here's what intrigues me about your number 1 son, Lonzo. He obviously loves you, very close with you, as are the 2 younger sons, but Lonzo's not like you.
No.
You are extremely outgoing, very comfortable in front of the camera, microphone, and Lonzo a little more introverted, and it was intriguing to me. He chose not to go to the lottery on ESPN last night, but Markelle Fultz shows up, and they interviewed him, and they said, well, Lonzo declined. Put that in some perspective for me.
Lonzo declined on the fact that it's not doing nothing for him. He's not ready for the pony show. He's trying to get busy. Here's the thing. Usually when you have a gathering at the house, and you get drafted, number 2, you got to go to the club, let your boys know that you're getting drafted. You know where Lonzo was last night after the draft? Him and his brothers went straight to 24-hour fitness and was playing, working on their game.
Really?
With some friends and stuff. They just had a good time playing in there, where he's doing moves. That's Lonzo. He's a business guy. He like to handle that business. He has fun when he's doing his thing, but as far as when it comes to this basketball, he don't care about the pony show. He ready to get busy. Right now, he's so anxious. I told him, I said, man, I don't want you playing. He hasn't played since UCLA. But see, now that he's so, as soon as he's anywhere, they got cameras on him, phones. I found out yesterday that he was playing at 24-hour fitness in a game. Said,
because somebody sent it to you?
Oh, yeah, they sent him, Lonzo's down here playing. I said, no, he ain't. But it's just in him. He hasn't played since UCLA. He hungry. He just been training. I'm winding him up right now. When I let him loose in that summer league, he gonna unleash. He gonna unleash.
Is his personality more like his mom than yours?
No, it's more like me. You just got to catch him at the right time.
Oh, so he's a talker and
Lonzo was out there.
Okay, but if
if
LaVar had been in Lonzo's shoes last night, he's at ESPN.
If I'm in Lonzo's shoes, no.
You don't think so?
I would.
You wouldn't have missed that opportunity.
No, I'm not like that. I'm like this. Make the cameras follow you. You that good.
They come to you.
Follow them. They follow me. If you that good, just like I told my boys when they was growing up, I said, man, if you say how good you are, you're not that good, unless you me. Then you that good.
You got to believe in that.
Hey, they know it. Hey, you don't need to justify it yourself. They'll come tell you how good you are.
But see, the thing is with you will tell somebody how good you are.
I'll tell you.
Lonzo just say, watch this game.
Watch it. That's all he do. Just like all the passing and all the stuff. Like I tell them, it ain't the passing and the dribbling and all that that's good about Lonzo. The thing about Lonzo is the winning.
Right.
He never gets into no one. He just loves to win at everything. He's the worst loser ever.
Can you tell the story about the house and how you became a homeowner?
The homeowner association.
Homeowner association.
Oh, man.
You heard the story, Skip?
Check this out, Skip. So I got my house, man. It's a peach color. It looks good when it's brand new, but it gets old. You got the stains from the mildew, from the grass and stuff. So to have no problems, I painted it pure white. I wanted to hurt your eyes when you drive up.
Right. Lily.
Man, they looked at it. I said, man, if Obama can have a White House, I can have Ebola had a White House. So I painted it white. They told me, came up there and said, LaVar, I know that's the primer. You finna paint it another color, right? I said, why would you wait till I finish doing the whole house and tell me that? And I said, you know what?
This is the homeowners.
This is the homeowners, yes, the people that's in there. Well, you got to come to us and tell us how to paint it, what color. I said, whoa, I paid a mortgage on it. I got to come and ask you what color to paint it? I could see if I painted it green or purple or something like that. I said a neutral color was white to me, and I wanted it to be pure white.
And what did they want it to be?
They wanted it to be a natural color, a earth tone, brown or beige.
They didn't want it to stand out.
They didn't want it to stand out, but it's a corner house. So to really make them mad, I painted my garage door black. I'm the only one, if you drunk, you'll drive right through my house at night. You think that garage is up. That garage is down. So anyways, man, they made me come to a meeting. But when I came to the meeting, they thought it was just going to be me. But, you know, everybody on my block likes LaVar. I'm coming to the meeting with you. I had too many people behind me.
Oh.
Yes. And when a lot of people like you, guess what? They said, we want LaVar to be the president. And guess what? The people's choice? Now they got to come to me to get their house painted. What color do I want it? Yes.
So you took over the homeowners.
The homeowners, I'm that guy now. The meetings used to last for 2 hours. Now they last for 5 minutes.
And now you the man.
Now I'm the man. Come watch, man. But I tell them, you know what? Any upgrade on your house, as long as you don't go crazy and paint it green and purple, I don't care what color you paint, just don't be crazy about it.
Right.
But if you come at me one more time, I'm going to paint that house again. But it's going to be all black this time.
So back to your shoes.
Yes.
There have been some reports out there that they're not selling that well. Can you give us the latest breakdown on how they are selling at $4.95?
The latest breakdown, I think they're doing pretty good. But, you know, everybody's numbers are different. Pretty good to you might be 5,000. Pretty good to me might be 500. Pretty good to some other people might be 5 million. But like I tell them about this shoe, we not in the volume like Nike and Adidas and them. Our stuff is exclusive. That's how we are.
So is it fair to say that 500 is pretty good to you?
500 is good to me, pretty good to me.
So is that our ballpark at this
That's
point?
pretty much probably so about
Okay.
that. You know, I really don't worry about that part on the fact that the main thing that I worry about is Lonzo has his own shoe. So if I make 10 shoes and they all for Lonzo, I'm good. My son has his own brand.
But you think the volume will increase once Lonzo is in that shoe and he's actually playing?
Well, definitely the volume is going to increase on the fact that, let's just keep it real. Whoever got the highest selling shoe, this is what's hurting their head right now. Whoever got the highest selling shoe is usually the best player on the court.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something that's going to be bad is for Nike. And LeBron probably look him in the face and be like, man, how this rookie on the court with his shoes twice the amount of mine? What are y'all doing for me? He got a goddamn slipper the same amount as my shoe. What are y'all doing for me? Yeah, it's got to look different now.
What do you think, Shannon?
Yeah, I was going to stir up some stuff.
Is he going to be a little offended by this?
No, I don't think Bron going to be upset by it.
No?
Now, if you start moving,
No, he's going to be upset. He might not tell you, but he's going to be upset. Because I would. If I'm the head guy, the NBA big-time guy, and a rookie come in and everybody looking at his shoe like, man, LeBron, how much your shoes? $250, $220. How much Lonzo's? $500. You know who the big baller? He going to get that big baller shoe.
But how about this here? Are you going to be able to big ball in that shoe or are you going to be able to hoop? Can he put the ball in the basket? That's what I need to know.
Hey, he ain't even got to put the ball in the basket.
Well, can he get the ball to somebody else that can put the ball in the basket?
You seen him play. Ain't nothing going to change.
That's what I need to know.
Hey, you ain't got to know. You come watch the first game, watch the season. Hey, I'll put it out here before we even do it. Lonzo get to the Lakers, they go to the playoffs.
Really?
Really.
Okay. And
Tickets on you?
Tickets on me.
Skip me.
okay, you got it.
Be there.
I will be at, well, how
Play
soon,
off.
How soon before I get my shoes?
November.
All right.
They gonna get their shoes in November,
I need to go to a game, I'm going to have the shoes on.
I know you are.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to sport them.
Yes, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
So, LaVar, break it down for us. Next year, let's do hypothetical.
Okay.
If Lonzo is starting for the Los Angeles Lakers,
Yes.
what does the rest of the lineup look like, and how does it all fit around Lonzo?
The rest of the starting lineup, he will make, I'm saying if the guy Ingram, he will make him a slasher because he'll get the ball to him so early. He'll put up 25 to 30 points easy.
He's
on the
got
fact that he can
potential.
shoot and run.
He can.
People don't give him the ball early enough. See, with his thin frame, if he just got to go around one person, he's going to be a heck of a player.
Right.
But he's going to make Julius Randle, if he's there, run down that middle of that court fast as he can because he know that ball coming. So now you get this running team and everybody's breaking out to get a layup or a dunk, and he going to give it to you. And then as everybody keeps running, they forget about Zoe. Then he hit you with a couple of threes here and there because everybody say, get back, because he's throwing it. He's going to make all of, if D'Angelo's there, he's going to make him into the best two. He's always been a two.
Really? Okay.
Yes. If the other guy, Clarkson, is there, he's going to be a good scorer. Zoe's going to make those wings put up the 20 and 25 points. And then with Randall being as fast as he is, he just got to get in condition so he can run every single time he don't get a rebound. And that ball will come over the top. And
Lonzo going to be in condition? You keep
Lonzo
on talking.
is not going to be in condition. You know why? He in condition now. He ain't never out of condition.
Because you keep on talking about everybody else running to the rim. I need to know.
Run.
Okay.
And you'll see Lonzo saying, you know what?
Skip
if I
it,
got
I'm
all
coming to
these
the game.
scores, you coming to the game. You're going to see
We're
it.
coming to the game. Oh, I'm coming.
Yes. Hey, he's in the winning. And you know what? It starts at the top. I like the fact that Magic Johnson is strictly about, we're going to win. We're going to do this. And that's why, even at UCLA, I told all the coaches before Zoe even go there, we're not coming here to say we're going to UCLA. I need everybody on the same wavelength to say, you know what, we finna win a championship. This is the guy that can take us to the championship. Even if we don't get there, you got to believe that going forward.
Right.
And Magic believe he's going to turn this whole thing around, and he got that guy that can do it. But if the boss is thinking like that and Zoe thinking like that, we don't need no wavering talking about, well, let's wait till next year and we get a couple more pieces and we should be ready to go. No, we're ready to go now.
You have thought this through on the Lakers.
Very much so.
You see it.
Yes.
And when you see it, you sort of speak it into existence.
Oh, my God. Man, Lonzo going to have the most fun on the fact that the game is no longer 40 minutes. He get to play 8 more minutes. And the 24-second shot, so it's go faster than what you've been doing, Lonzo. Boy, he unleashing.
Were you a Showtime fan? Did you grow up in that?
I loved the Showtime. I loved it, man. Like I said, when you got that kind of system, how do you coach it? You don't. Just put on a nice suit, slick your hair back, and call yourself Pat Riley and let it go.
So that was Magic running that show.
Magic running the show, but he has input with it. Man, the coach you don't bottle something like that up. That's a special player. You let them go. How do you coach Larry Bird or Michael Jordan? You can come over there and make some suggestions.
You're right.
But you don't bottle them up. And that's why I love it that Magic in there, and I think it lines up for that, because Magic is that guy to say, I see why you threw that pass, so I would have threw the same one without looking and threw it that way, where most people might be structured. And just like going back to Boston, if you put Zoe at Boston, this is exactly what would happen. He would turn into it too, because that Isaiah want that ball in his hand.
Yeah.
He would turn into it too. They tried to do that at UCLA when they had Holiday coming in.
They did.
And the game did not look the same. Zoe's been a point. He's going to be a point all his life.
So exciting times ahead for the Lakers.
Yes, exciting.
Like. Fans should get on board.
Yes.
No mercy.
Since people aren't watching highlight shows anymore, FS1's big personalities own the conversation as well. And this fall, FS1 is going to own those conversations a little earlier. Fox Sports would like to introduce First Things First with Nick Wright and Chris Carter, live every morning at 6 right here in New York City, debuting the first week of the NFL season. Nick and Chris are going to be great.
That was Joe Buck on Monday announcing the brand new FS1 morning show, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright. The show launches September 5th, and we're joined now by Chris and Nick. Welcome, guys. Congrats.
Congratulations, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Very excited for you, so tell us about the show.
Well, for one, in morning television is different than, say, in the 3 hours you guys are in. People are looking for, say, a fresh start, a new alternative. And for me, as a professional football player, professional broadcaster, I try to get off to a great start to my day. And we want to be part of people's habit of what they're doing. As far as the programming at FS1, what it does after Colin Cowherd decided to come here, after Skip Bayless decided to come here, Shannon Sharpe decides to come here. People like myself decide this is a place, and I wanted to do morning television. I saw Skip. We were at another place, and I believe that I have something that Skip had, and that's an authentic relationship with a person who's really, really talented. Because Nick Wright, for people who don't know him, this is what Skip Bayless sounded like 30 years ago. This is what Colin Cowherd sounded like 20 years ago. So I'm excited about the opportunity of working with one of the bright stars that we have at FS1. Not only you, Joy, but Nick Wright is one of those young up-and-coming broadcasters.
And and I appreciate that, brother. There's an opening, I think, in the morning sports space. There are some announcements made at ESPN yesterday that starting the first of the year, they're not even going to be live on the air until 7 a.m. Our show's going to start at 6 a.m. every day, and what Chris brings to the table every single day, and Shannon speak to this as well, is that it almost sounds cliche, but that like Hall of Fame mindset, which is I want to start every day to be as great as I possibly can. And we know, like, a lot of people, jobs tough, lives are tough, the tough marriages, and if you can leave the day, if you can leave your house a little more informed on sports, but plus also have the good, positive mentality that Chris exudes, I think there's an opening for a really good show, and I'm excited to do it.
Also, I think the first leg, because we're like a relay as far as this broadcasting as a unit. And now we get the chance to get a running start and give you guys that second leg the same way you guys did to the Herd. The Herd's up 70% since you guys came onto the air. So now you guys have the opportunity, so we can give you guys that bump.
Which is why you guys better be good.
We knew that.
Because we're good.
Well, skip the second leg. I don't know how fast he is, but he's the second leg.
The second leg is the longest leg.
Yeah, no, you got to
4x1.
You got to run the curve and the straight.
Yes.
So allow me to say, I don't know Nick as well as I know Chris, but I've gained a lot of respect for Nick in the short time I have been around him. But I knew Chris back at the old place, and we used to clash fairly regularly, and I have gained nothing but respect for you because I feel like we, in a weird way, have a lot in common. Mm-hmm. You are a deep thinker, you do your homework, and you are bold with your opinions, and they cut through. They're piercing opinions that often open my eyes on this show, and I go home and think about them, and I'm very happy that you two are going to give us the jump start that we need.
Right, and you have to realize too, Skip, and you're very responsible with Jamie and me coming here.
Jamie Horowitz.
When I had the opportunity to come here, you were one of the first people he called, and he was like, yes, we got to have him. So for me personally, I appreciate it. And you know how we do.
Well, Chris and Nick, we're very excited for you, and congrats to both of you.
Thank you, Joy.
All right, let's talk some LeBron James. LeBron is averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in the playoffs so far. He's scored the most points through 8 playoff games since Michael Jordan in 1992, and the Cavs haven't lost a game yet. So, Chris, I'll start with you. How impressive has LeBron's postseason been?
It's been very impressive. And the thing about LeBron right now, it's not one aspect that you can really just concentrate on. His ability to be efficient. And that's what, because this was not, I know Nick doesn't like, this was not a great regular season for LeBron, because we saw times where LeBron took more times off, especially on the defensive end, than any season that I can remember for LeBron. But based on the injuries of the team, you could see why. Now it makes a lot of sense, but his overall efficiency, he can score from 3 different levels. Skip don't like his three-point, but he's very, very efficient shooting the 3 and not shooting too many.
He's been on a rare hot streak.
Yes, and he decides to spend a certain amount of time in the mismatches in the post. So for me, that was one of the best times I thought when LeBron in his career in Miami, when he decided to go in the post. And then we're able to see that. And we see him defensively now. Even though he's playing more than 40 minutes, we're seeing the first-team all-defender that we saw 4 or 5 years ago where he was a dominant player. So I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing with LeBron.
That was all really smart and well done, but you did what I usually do, which is you went a little too deep with it. I can baseline it for you. What we're seeing is the greatest basketball player ever at the total peak of his powers.
Apex.
We are seeing chess master LeBron, who we wondered, we were curious why in January and February, why he's saying, I need some playmakers, I'm upset with how we're playing. We wondered why in March, when he could have gone for the game winner himself, he kicked it off to Darren Williams to watch him clang that 3 off almost the side of the backboard. And now we're seeing why.
You like that?
Well, now that we see it was part of a plan, part of a bigger story, which is I need that second unit to be able to run with me at the beginning of the second and the fourth quarter, which is how they came back from the 26-point, trailing the Pacers by 26 points. What we're seeing right now is LeBron free and clear of any pressure for the first time in his career, playing as confidently and as efficiently as he ever has, which is why no matter what 538's metrics or the BPI index says, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the team to beat in the league. They got the best player in the league by a wide margin, playing his best basketball ever. Damn, Shannon. You my hype man today, evidently, bro.
Go ahead.
No, I want you to go. I don't want to go right now, Skip. I want you to go.
He's already got the welcomes and congratulations out. So now here come the knives and the guns.
Hit both of y'all over the head with a frying pan.
I am now starting to doubt our new leader.
It's a lot of LeBron love.
So help me out here. If, in fact, LeBron James is having one of the greatest postseasons ever, then is it possible my man Kawhi Leonard is having the greatest postseason ever? Is that possible?
Gotta play the games.
Huh?
Gotta play.
Oh, well, wait a second. He's played a whole bunch of games, and the most telling stat that I know of in all of basketball is called PER, player efficiency rating. Kawhi's at a 33. LeBron's really good at 31, but Kawhi's at 33. And then I'm going to go second and third level real quick on the stats here. How about in just estimated wins added? That's a pretty key stat. All the basketball geeks, they love this stat. Kawhi's at 5 through the playoffs. LeBron's only at 3. Value added in points. Kawhi is massively ahead. He's at 143 to LeBron's only 103. And by the way, Kawhi has been doing this against a really tough Memphis team and then a Houston team that for a while gave them all they wanted. It was a blowout in Game 1 and also in Game 4. And then, of course, Kawhi had to face Golden State at least for 2.5 quarters. He lasted
was great
that long
against
until
Golden
he
State.
got zaza'd.
He was unbelievable.
So my point is, wait, LeBron's been doing this against a 42-40 Indiana and then a Toronto without much of Kyle Lowry, and you're calling it the greatest postseason ever? That's shameful.
Well, LeBron can control a lot. He can't control who the NBA tells him to play. And those are, I like PR as well. Those other stats are, I like the advanced metrics. I also know LeBron's averaging more points, shooting a better percentage, more rebounds, more assists. And as far as
block shots.
Thank you, my man.
But actually playing too.
That's the other thing, Skip. We we do have to recognize that in the last week, Kawhi Leonard has missed 2 playoff games, which is 2 more than LeBron has missed in a 14-year career.
He is indestructible. I'm knocking on wood because I don't want to see him get hurt. Knocking on wood, but he's Iron Man.
Can I ask you a question, and then I'll shut up? How do we reconcile? Because I understand what that it really looks like from the beginning of the series. Wow, the Spurs with Kawhi, they're up 25. Without Kawhi, they melt down. How do we reconcile?
61. They've been outscored by 61 points in the last 5.5 quarters.
Right.
Tony Parker's not there also.
But how do we reconcile the plus 39 without Kawhi from the 4 quarters to end the Houston series? That final game. That wasn't ancient history.
Because James Harden did what he has often done in the postseason. He shrank, melted, disappeared the way few superstars have since LeBron shrank and melted in the 2011 finals, right? Am I right?
Yep.
He tried to
yeah, because what he tried to do, because when LeBron is cooking, he tried to go back to find something when he burnt the dish. But he cook it right now. He cook it right now. 39, 34, 97, 56% shooting. He's shooting better from the 3 than Steph Curry. Now, if you're doing anything better than Steph Curry, laying the ball up, shooting from the tunnel, that's pretty good. I'm impressed with his efficiency because he's not taking a whole lot of shots. And Nick Richard, he's playing at his peak. I wrote down his apex, his zenith, his crescendo.
At age
his
38?
denouement. That was how high he could be.
Denouement? Then it means this is it. It's going to be over, right?
See,
is this his last year?
Why do you do this to LeBron? Nobody said Usain Bolt hasn't faced competition. Guys are running sub 9.8.
Yes.
But Usain Bolt is running sub 9.6. So he's far ahead of him. The man is just so great.
LeBron might as well be playing D-League teams right now. Seriously, it's like the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. That's who he's playing in the East.
Don't do that.
This is the least.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
George Paul?
Skip, I tell you what.
What's George Paul?
If you remember, you know what started this, Skip? You know who started this? The Golden State Warriors. When Klay Thompson said, I guess he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
I bet he won't say nothing else.
What's he since then, Shannon? He's played 11 games.
Let me know.
Wait, help me out. What did Draymond call LeBron to his face? Scream.
Called him a baller.
A baller.
Called him a baller. Called him a boss. Come on. Bad man.
Yeah. A bad man?
Yeah.
I think he called him like the worst thing a man can call him.
Look, it ain't my fault LeBron had him on his neck. It ain't my fault. But you know what, LeBron said, I got something for you in Game 5. And just so you know I mean business.
Wait, did Draymond play in Game 5?
No.
No, he was suspended.
No. Hey, but you know what? He's in CC. He was. Game 5, he said, I gave y'all 41. Just so Draymond don't feel left out, I'm going to give you another 41 when you go back to Cleveland in Game 6.
Okay, so what do you expect LeBron to do tonight?
To win handily.
Okay.
This is sweep city. This
Okay.
is the end of the lease that they're playing. This is going to be 12-0 through the East.
Okay, but how do you expect him personally to play? You just think he'll just lead them?
No, what was it on April 5th? 36, 10, and 6. I'll give him somewhere in that ballpark.
36, 10, and 6, but you ain't going to talk about them 4 blocks?
It's
4. I'll give him the 4 also.
if the East right now is as bad as everyone likes to at least say it is, I'm just curious. How come don't nobody ever want to go there? Like Kevin Durant could have gone
to Boston. Could have gone to the Wizards.
When Dwight was at the peak of his powers, he stayed
Orlando.
west. LaMarcus Aldridge could have left Portland to go
east. Over there.
east.
That boogeyman over there.
And if we're going to talk about the East,
they want to go to the good teams, the better teams, because clearly it was clear to.
No, because they know they can't get past LeBron.
Well, I mean, Kevin thinks he can get past LeBron.
Kevin who? Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what's happened in his lifetime that would give him that confidence. Nothing.
The same.
There's nothing that's happened in his brain against LeBron that he thinks, you know something, I would like to play in the same conference.
Well,
as
if
him.
you give him Steph and Draymond and Klay, I think he's going to think, I got this.
Skip, what did I just tell you about LaMarcus? See, I say it all the time. Sometimes a man can make his destiny on the very road he took to avoid it. Now, he went to Golden State.
Preach, Shannon.
To be guaranteed he would get a championship. But there's a man that his birthday is December 30th, 1984.
There we go. Well.
You see it? You see what he's doing?
He's done this bit before.
It's a good bit.
Help me out. Help me out. The Chicago Bulls went to Boston in round 1 of these playoffs. They went to Boston.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened in games 1 and 2?
Rondo
happened.
Chicago.
Yes.
And you know what? If there was the old days in the first round when it was the best 2 out of 3, they'd have won it.
Oh.
But they played 4 out of 7.
But he fractured his thumb, and LeBron got another break. This would be Chicago versus LeBron in the finals.
Sweet.
Hold on, but this is
But whose fault is that?
if I'm correct from watching the shows, are the teams that you think would have given LeBron the most trouble, all of them have had bad luck on the road, right? Chicago, which I think beat them all. What were they? 4-0 in the regular season.
Miami.
Deion
Waiters lost the last 16.
Skip, you know I love
beat
you.
them the last 3 times they
Hold on,
played.
skip. Hold on, let me ask you a question real quick, and no
Put your arm down,
disrespect.
Joy.
No disrespect to my friend Joy Taylor.
That looks good.
It looks great.
I'm impressed, I got to say.
You and I talked in the hallway a couple weeks ago, and we agreed on this point.
Spurs.
I think LeBron would rather play the Warriors than the Spurs. I think Popovich is a genius. I think Kawhi does match up better than him, better than LeBron, than Kevin Durant does.
Yep.
We agreed on that point. So, like, you and I, we can agree on some of this stuff. Come on, man. Miami?
He deserves it.
You think Miami would have given him trouble?
Give him that pushback.
Deion Waiters. Hassan, come on, Skip.
Better recognize. No mercy. The Cavs and Celtics play Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. The Cavs won 3 out of 4 games against the Celtics in the regular season. LeBron James and the Cavs haven't played a game in 9 days, and yesterday LeBron said his body feels worse when he doesn't play. We're joined by NBA champ Eddie House. Welcome back, Eddie.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning.
Who wins tonight, Cavs or Celtics?
I'm going to go with the Cavs. You know what? I said 4-1 gentleman sweep. I think it's just going to be a clean sweep.
You back completely?
I mean, I have to. I have to
you
just.
saw the light.
Man, I'm just saying.
Slept
and
on it.
LeBron, he's full of it right there, talking about his body feels worse. That's all gas. So when he comes out tonight, puts up 30, you could go crazy tomorrow. That's what he's doing. He's setting the table for us. But I don't think that the Celtics have enough. We talked about this yesterday, and they had a grueling 7-game series. They're going to be a little tired. Legs going to be a little tired. Are they going to be able to hit jump shots? They're going to get pressured. They had a whole 9 days to prepare for this team. T. Lue is a very good, underrated coach in my book, and they have a veteran-laden team to where they're going to come in focused, sharp, and they're going to get this first game.
Oof. And then they're going to get the second and the third and the fourth.
You know, Skip,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Hold on, let me hear me out. Not like a long-tailed cat on a porch full of rocking chairs. I'm not nervous like that. I'm talking about eating a salad and maybe having something in my teeth. You get what I'm saying, Joy?
That gives me a lot of anxiety.
I'm a little nervous like that. Because, you know, LeBron has been off, you know, okay, it takes you like 12.
You're clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it takes you like 10, 12 hours to get to the south of France. So it takes you a day to like get over it. And then you get like 3 or 4 days laying on the white sand beaches and going to the yacht.
Like beach rust.
Yeah, yeah. And so you come back.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, you know, I like to play, you know, I'm in a rhythm now. Did you see the rhythm I was in? You know, 34, 7, 8, 2, 1.5. That's points, rebounds, assists, steals, block. You know, Eddie, you know what I'm talking about.
Killing.
And he done filled up that premium gas. You know, the premium gas out here in California, like $3.79, $3.99 a gallon. So he filled to the top with that premium white gas. I ain't nervous no more. I done talked myself.
Talk yourself back.
I done talked myself back in.
Wait, are you saying sweep also?
Skip, how about I put it to you like this? I believe this is the Celtics' best chance to get a game. Because if we go back and look at the previous 2 series, the Cavaliers have gotten better and better. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, sweep. Same thing with Toronto. So I believe if the Celtics does not get this game, if they don't win this game, Skip, yeah. Because you know right now, my grandfather used to say, boy, if you grasp enough straws, you can put a broom together. If they don't win tonight, we're going to put all these straws together, sweep them right up out of there.
Wait a minute. So deductive reasoning tells me that if you predicted 4-1 and you're saying tonight is the only night, then Shannon is picking against LeBron tonight. Am I right?
I'm saying this is the Cavs' best chance to win this game.
What does that mean?
Huh?
The Celtics' best chance.
Skip. The only thing I can equate it to, Skip, is like in the preseason. You play a little bit. You play all the third, up to 3 quarters in the third game. You take the fourth game completely off. So now you got, 10 days before you play the next game. So you've been off, and now all of a sudden they expect you to go to play an entire game. So you are a little rusty. You get a little winded quicker. The guy's been off for 9 days. He has not been scrimmaging like he would a game. So they might be a little rusty.
Okay, so have some guts and pick Boston tonight.
Why you want me to pick?
Be objective. If you tell me there's competition in the East, you need to pick the Celtics tonight. Am I right?
The last time I picked
if that's what you're telling me, pick the Celtics.
What did I do? What happened last time? I said
lost a dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And dude coming on here on Friday.
He is. I think you're gonna have to pay up.
Yeah, we got to go to Maestro's, and he talking about, oh yeah, I'm bringing him an appetite and get me some of that good wine.
I think it's Mastro's. That's okay.
Yeah, Mastro's or Craig's or wherever else you want to go. I might just buy a steak and go to Sizzler or something. I ain't got that kind of money to be going to jail.
You don't have to bet on it. Just make a pick.
Come on. If there's competition in the East, then Boston wins tonight. I say there's no competition in the East. I say sweep city. I say straws, broom, sweep.
Why you do that, Skip?
Because you deserve it. After all the junk you've talked across this table to me about LeBron this, you got LeBron pajamas, you get sleep on LeBron.
LeBron bed?
Bed. You
Pillow.
got a whole bed.
Got a pillow too.
Face
Got a pillow?
Yep.
A face pillow.
Face pillow?
I
You
got
lay on
One of
face.
those sleeping masks.
I got a sweatsuit, and I got 2 T-shirts.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so have some guts. You've been telling me all year that I am devaluing and underestimating the competition LeBron has to get to the finals. So if that's true, you have to put your, so to speak, your pride where your mouth
LeBron gets 32, 10, 8, 2 and 2, and they win.
Well, then there's no
Then it's
competition.
a sweep.
Yeah, they're gonna be a sweep then.
So you've given up. So Eddie came around, and now you've seen the light, and so all that talk was nothing but talk from
Skip,
you were blowing nothing but smoke at me about the competition in the East.
Skip,
it's over, and you know it.
Joy.
12-0 will be the score in the East.
I said I'm nervous. Not like Skip, you from you.
But
Oklahoma.
you said it was going to be a gentleman's suite.
No, Eddie said gentleman.
I said that yesterday, but I backed up on that.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. And I gave you the examples and how I'm nervous. Not like the cat with the rocking chairs on the front porch. I'm not nervous like that.
I like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, but it's one of my favorite
Tennessee
plays.
Williams?
Yeah, there you go.
The Glass
Yeah.
Menagerie.
Yeah.
Scotty,
I'm impressed.
your boy. Hey,
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I had some good teachers at Glenville High.
Yeah.
I believe that the Cavs will be a little rusty early. But here's the question, Skip. The Warriors showed some rust Sunday. Can they put some distance between themselves and the Cavaliers? Because if this game is close, you already know what's going to happen. You know we got the best clothes in the game.
I don't think they're going to be that rusty. The way the Warriors are rusty, the Warriors are a jump shooting team.
Right.
The Cavs going to slow the game down. They could go inside to LeBron. So I don't think rust is going to hit them as far as their rhythm for the game. Now, being winded,
yes,
that's going to bother them a little bit, because they're going to have to chase around Boston a little. You know the way they play, the dribble handoff, the pass, pick and rolls, multiple pick and rolls, pin downs, everything that they do for Isaiah Thomas. So that can get a guy a little winded quick, but they got a deep team. So I really don't think that it's going to affect them that much. And after I analyzed it a little bit more and thought about it, I had to say it's going to be a sweep. And I hate to say that because I love Boston.
Because Skip, and you
but
know,
I can't think.
you
I can't
know
go with my
Bron
heart.
will be hyped. You know how Bron, he come out there hyped.
You know why he's going to be hyped. Bron has high basketball IQ, and he's certainly smart enough to see what just happened in the Western Conference Finals, and he's certainly smart enough to know that if Kawhi Leonard has injured his ankle 3 times now in a short span, against Houston, then twice on Sunday, game 1, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to come back. And Coach Popovich is a player's coach. He protects his assets long term, and Kawhi is his #1 asset. And I'm pretty sure he's going to give Kawhi the rest of the year off because I think he basically surrendered.
Kawhi's playing on Saturday.
I think he threw the towel in too.
I do too.
He waved the white flag.
But
he waved the white flag.
But that's Pop, Skip.
Okay.
You know, if starting the fourth quarter, if Pop is down 15, it's over. His starter's not coming back in the game.
Okay.
He'll wave the flag quicker than anybody.
And not only that, if you look at those players when they were coming off the floor, they looked like they threw in the towel too.
They did.
I think that message that he sent yesterday or the day before when he talked about all these things, Zaza being a dirty player and how good his team played this year. He said
it was all in past tense.
Yeah,
it was all,
like
we
the
were really
season's
good
over
this
with.
year. We had
think
a great season.
That message was relayed to his team as we quit.
That's how you got to do. You ever seen somebody? They want about to fight, Skip.
Well, you got to have the right type of players that got that fight.
And then somebody break it up. Yeah, you better be glad he broke it up. But see what the Warriors did? They beat the brakes off him, make you don't want to come back. So that's how you got to do it. Now, your team.
So LeBron saw what happened, and he realizes that they got to have a sense of urgency because they got to stay on rest rotation with Golden State, right? Because Golden State's going to get rest. They need more rest.
I look at it like this, Skip. Anytime that the quicker you can close out a series, the less chance you're going to get injured. Because if you can close it out in 4, because you never know, Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. It's just unfortunately that it happened for Kawhi in the first game. But you try to close it out as quick as you possibly can. Hey, like Mike Shannon used to tell us on Friday, get off your feet, get in the game. Hey, mentally prepare for the game. That's what Brian tried to do. What he tried to do is get that broom. All them straws we put together, got that broom, sweep it. Get off his feet. Now, he won't go anywhere this Skip. Finals, first round, he took a little trip, went to Cabo. This one he went a little further. Now, he's not going anywhere after this one.
I haven't read that anywhere. You're reporting that, man. That's a bombshell that he went to the south of France.
That's the whole point.
And that's beach time. Right? That's tropical.
Those that know won't tell. Those that tell won't know.
Huh? Wait.
What?
I have to think about that one.
Think about it.
What's the second part of it? Those that
tell won't know. Those that know won't tell.
What you tell, so that means you don't
know.
know.
You don't know? I don't know.
Don't worry, Joy. Joy, let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to be in your car, you be driving home, and it's like, that's what he was talking about. Oh, golly gee. Oh, my God. Shannon's like
not
so
understanding
funny.
anything Shannon's
Shannon
saying.
is so funny.
That's how she talks.
So here's my bottom line. These are going to be 4 easy games for LeBron and company, and they're going to be repeats of what happened on April 5th when LeBron playing back-to-back off Orlando at home, going to Boston. They were 1-9 and road back-to-backs this year. Went into Boston and made a big, loud, resounding statement. Boom! 114-91 without Tristan Thompson. They demolished Boston and left them for psychological dead. And I say it's going to be more of the same. I'll say it's a little closer. I'm going to go 111-101 tonight, Cavaliers.
Eddie, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why is it that LeBron and the Cavs have such an easy schedule? But when the Warriors won their first championship, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love. Okay, they played Portland with no Nurkic. They played the second round, George Hill gets hurt. They played this round, Kawhi's hurt. Nobody said anything about the easy road that Golden State is traveling.
I have said it before. I tweeted it after
say it
their
now.
first
I need you to
championship.
say it right
I
now.
tweeted it, and Steph took me to task on Twitter. You can look it up, saying, give us a break. We just played who was before us or whatever.
Okay, now you get that same break to LeBron.
Okay.
Well, they've had injuries in that situation.
You were in the lottery.
The East is just not good.
You were in the lottery.
I'm aware that
Yeah, let's
he
tell
won the
that.
lottery last night. I watched. I'm just saying that the West's path, the Golden State's path, has injuries where LeBron just doesn't have good teams.
So how good was Houston Rockets if without the best player in San Antonio they lose by 40 on their home court? So how good were they actually?
As good as James Harden was.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
No mercy. Earlier this morning, Gisele Bündchen told CBS that her husband, Tom Brady, suffered a concussion last year. Gisele added, quote, he does have concussions, like we don't talk about it, but he does have concussions. Skip, what's your reaction?
Scary. Trouble. I've been pushing, saying I'm with Tom Brady if he says he could play until he's 45. That's one guy I don't bet against. But when you involve head injuries, all bets are off, as you well know.
Yes.
And when you involve a wife who's very concerned about a husband and said later in the interview, I'm planning on having him be healthy and do a lot of fun things when we're like 100, I hope, meaning 100 years old. It's really scary because it's clear she is starting to pressure him to stop.
Yes.
And she went so far, the quote is, he had a concussion last year. He has concussions pretty much every, and then she stopped and said, I mean, we don't talk about it. I think she edited herself.
Yes.
Hit delete finally about halfway through the line. But I think she was going to say he has concussions pretty much every year.
Yeah.
And if that's true, that's a big problem, because from what I know about concussions, and have known about concussions since the 70s, a lot of this just now coming to light, is that they build up. They don't get better. Your head doesn't get better. The cumulative buildup, it just gets a little worse and a little more worse, where you're a little more susceptible and a little more susceptible. And it's not a knee or shoulder injury that's going to end his career. This could end his career, because I believe he's beating the system, as we talked about, with this flexibility, staying limber, flexible, elastic. And so he's avoiding those career-threatening joint injuries. But this is the one you just can't avoid, because the quarterback is going to take some blows, sometimes to the head, just part of football. And the other concern here is that the Patriots are going to immediately come under fire. He has never been once listed as having a concussion at any point on any injury report.
Kind of like Pete Carroll said about Richard Sherman, who was dealing with a knee injury the entire season, and the NFL looked into it. And they, like, look, they didn't find him or anything, but I'm assuming they issued a stern warning. This is not to happen again.
But it could cost you a draft pick.
Yes.
And if this is some, again, we know the Patriots are notorious for listing, that first they wouldn't list any injuries, and then Belichick swung completely around. Then he would list every little minor ache and pain, and they've listed Brady before with leg, thigh, and ankle injuries, but never the more serious head injury. So I'm concerned. I'm going to have to rethink my heel play until he's 45. If she's right, maybe she's overreacting a little bit just because she's his wife. And she doesn't want him to keep getting hit in the head. But she seems like a smart woman who has her own career at the highest of levels in her, so to speak, sport. And in this case, I'm going to have to conclude that she's just speaking the painful truth here. And I'll be very curious to see how the NFL responds, and then I'll be very curious to see how Brady and his family respond. Because his dad has been quoted as saying, I don't want to see Tom have to get dragged off the field in a straitjacket, because he fears that's what's going to happen at some point. But maybe this is why Jimmy G is still a Patriot. Maybe they're thinking not in terms of we have to, Bill Belichick isn't thinking in terms of I got to replace Tom Brady and show the world I can win without him. Maybe he's just thinking he's getting more and more susceptible to head injuries.
Skip, I think the thing is, let me take it step by step. I think she got a tense wrong. She said have. I think she meant had. Means past tense, like during the season. I don't think Tom Brady has a concussion currently as we're speaking. So I just think she got the tense in which she was speaking wrong. I think the thing is, Skip, and I know the NFL concussion policy is going to come under a lot of criticism, but it's different. If you're a running back and you see the guy go head to head, or if you're a wide receiver, you see the guy get his bell rung, go head to head, the official will step in. But you don't really see that a lot with quarterbacks. Now, there have been times, I think, in the Baltimore when they slammed the Rams quarterback down and they picked him up and he was woozy and they kept him in the game. And I think this is what started the independent neurologist on site saying, no, get him out. When you're dealing with concussion, Skip, a lot of it has to do with the player. And if the player doesn't tell you, I don't really know how the team, what if the team didn't know? See, we're talking as if the team knew. Maybe that was something he just shared with Giselle.
That's possible.
So I'm not willing to jump out there and say, okay, the Patriots hid this and they knew Tom had a concussion and they put him.
That's a good point. That's
so
fair.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she saw that HBO special when Nick Bonacani says, I feel like a child. He said, I can't remember. I can't do certain things. Maybe the realization is starting to set in. I think Giselle is looking also, as she mentioned, 100. But I think she said, like, Tom, we got small kids, and I know, and I give you great latitude to study and to prepare and to do all this stuff when the 40s. But when you're not playing football and you're 50 or 60, then what? If we can't do the things that I would love to do. For me, and Skip, for the longest time, we didn't look at head trauma. We only thought boxers would have the slurred speech and the dementia and the shakes. But we know now through study that repeated hits to the head has the same effect as a boxer taking a glove to the head as players banging into each other.
Yep.
And when people ask me, say, what is it like to get hit? I say, put on an overcoat, go buy your hat from Lowe's or Home Depot, hard hat, and line up about 5 to 10 yards from your garage and run into it 65 times. And you do that once a week for 10, 15. Tom Brady's going in the year 18. And do that. Skip, for me, and I know people ask me, and I ask this a lot of time. If you knew then what you know now, Skip, I still would.
You would.
Now, I didn't, Skip, they would say you got your bell rung or you got dinged. I didn't even know the term concussion because I thought concussion meant you had to be completely out. Well, I was never completely out, but I was, dazed, saw stars, and got black. Skip, I would do it for this very reason. Even if I know that some point in time down the line, maybe in my 50s, I will suffer neurological, maybe I have dementia. Skip, I would do it over 1,000 times.
Yep, I got it.
Because I gave Mary Porter 23 years, my brother and I, that we could have never afforded her had we not played. So that's why I do it. Now, if they told me, the neurologist said, well, you know what, Shannon? If you didn't play football, you would never, never have it. But when my grandmother was in the nursing homes, I saw people in there that had dementia and ALS and never played a lick of football in their life. So there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee I will. There's no guarantee I won't. But I would do it all over again. And I'm saying I think the NFL has done more. Yeah. Could they have done more earlier? Sure, they could have. But they're doing. I'm not worried about the past. Hopefully those guys get taken care of in that settlement. But moving forward, Skip, I don't want to dump all of this on the lap of the NFL and say, well, they should have known Tom Brady, the Patriots should have known, and the NFL has to do something. If he didn't share this information with the Patriots, I can't hold the Patriots responsible. Maybe this was a private conversation that he only meant for her ears to hear. And in the moment when she's promoting her book, they're asking him how long does Tom Brady wants to play. She let that out without knowing that was something that she wasn't supposed to divulge.
Remember, Tom Brady, different animal. He's not doing this for the money.
No.
She makes a whole lot more money than he makes, and he makes a lot of money. But he's doing it because nothing else in his life, unfortunately, including his family life, he's going to prioritize football slightly above that. I can relate.
All the greats do it.
I'm not condemning it.
Because guess what, Skip? The only thing he's ever wanted to do was play quarterback at the collegiate level and at the NFL level. Now he's at this level, and he's having an all-time great transcendent career.
Yep.
Skip, he's not going to want to let it go because you know what, Skip? There's nothing else he'll ever do that can give him the high that he gets from running out that tunnel.
I've gone through this with a lot of quarterbacks. Roger Staubach didn't start until he was 28 years of age because of his Vietnam stretch, hitched, and he played 10 years and stopped at 38 because the doctor just said, you're taking too many shots to the head.
Yep.
Steve Young, Troy Aikman, they all stopped a little earlier than they wanted to, shots to the head.
Yes.
So this has potential. The only silver lining here is I watch every Patriot game, obviously, and I don't remember a time when I saw Tom wobble off the field.
Right.
Do you?
No.
I don't remember woozy. I don't remember the Julian Edelman Super Bowl shot that Cam gave him where he had to
and that's the thing, Skip. You never know. I mean, sometimes it's a glancing blow, and then sometimes it's the shot. You're like, okay, I know and the guy the guy takes a big shot, pops right up, and the guy takes a look, and he's like, okay, he's out for the rest of the game because of concussion. You're like, well, how did this guy take a 40-mile-an-hour car crash, and this guy just barely got grazed? But you never know what triggers it, Skip. Wow. And that's just the rule. Assumption of the risk. That's what this is. You go ride a roller coaster, you can't sue the amusement park because you had a heart attack. You assume that if you're going 100 miles an hour and you're dropping 15, 20 stories, there's going to be a thrill there. So,
well, in his ESPN interview that he did with Connor, he did say that she makes the decisions for our family that I've got to deal with, and hopefully she never says this has to be it. But we talk about sports mortality all the time. Sometimes it is your family that says it has to be it because it's easier to see from the outside looking in that your body has had enough or this really needs to be the end for you.
But you know what the biggest thing is, Skip? Every athlete says, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be the guy with the shake.
Well, you can't think of the end. Once you start thinking of the end, it's over.
I'm not going to be. I mean, it's just like nobody ever thinks it's going to be them.
but it's coming for all of us.
Yes.
No mercy. This is the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast, where we're delivering you an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the biggest topics of the day's show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Like us on Facebook at Undisputed on FS1, follow on Twitter at Undisputed, and catch us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Monday through Friday on FS1. You can find us on Channel 219 on DirecTV, 150 on Dish. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. That's it for us today. We come back tomorrow, and we welcome the newest member of the Fox family, 14-time Pro Bowler Tony Gonzalez. We'll talk to you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.